Hello, lovely people. How are you? Thank you very much for joining again. Hello, lovely to see you. Lovely to see you too. Thank you for joining. I hope you're well. I hope that you've had a good weekend so far. You've had a good week, had a good weekend. Hopefully, if you live in the UK, you've managed to make the most of the sun. I think we've had a bit of sun almost everywhere in the UK, hopefully, so you don't feel too left out. So hopefully you've been okay. Hi there, hi there. Lovely to have you. Thank you for joining. Everybody, hello, hello. Very nice to have you. So in this lesson, in this session for tonight, a lot of it I'm going to go based on what you say. I've got a few notes, obviously I've got my normal notes, but predominantly, I want to stick to what you lovely people are going to be talking about. Yeah. We will have sun this coming week as well. Yes, yes. Fingers crossed that we will, hopefully. Okay. Lovely. How are you doing today? Thank you, Azita. That's actually the title of our lesson, isn't it? How's your week been? I am doing well. Thank you very much. To be honest, personally, for me, today just whizzed by. Today just whizzed by. It whizzed by. Today just whizzed by. I'm going to write that down. Today just whizzed by. It went by so quickly. I just don't know where the time went. It just whizzed by today, possibly because I was busy obviously doing some work, and I was busy catching up with friends and family and everything. I don't know where the time went. Predominantly, yes, Amira, predominantly it means mostly, the majority, predominantly, mostly. I am on cloud 9 to see you again. Barnea 0. Thank you. That's very nice. Lovely to have you. Rubarzan 3632. Very practical learning. I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you very much. Again, I base. Oops. I think there was a connection issue there. Hopefully. Excuse me. Hopefully everything is okay. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. I lost my train of thought again. I don't know, for some reason the video keeps pausing. I hope that it's not going to interfere with the session. Yes, but it's been really good. I take your questions and I create posts out of your questions. So if you think the Reels post stories are good and useful, thank you, because these are your questions, basically. Let's see. I had a question here, a comment. Could you please teach phonics in future? Phonics. No. And there's a reason for that. To be honest, there are some things. صدای شما لیلا جون قی. I don't know what قی is, sorry. These are the things that you can find online. I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but so this is the cultural way. If I want to disagree with somebody, someone has just made a request and I'm going to reject that request. This is how we do it from a cultural point of view. We're going to say, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I don't want to be rude, but, so that's how we disagree with somebody. I don't want to be rude, but these are the things you can find online. I get lots of... Bita, is my sound okay now? Because you say Sadat qat mishe. Is my sound okay now? Can you just give me a thumbs up, people? Please. If somebody can just let me know. Just give me a thumbs up just to let me know if you can hear me. And it's not disconnecting. Yes, Arzu, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Just as long as I know that it's not getting disconnected. I do apologize. I don't know what's going on with the internet. Internet is choppy a bit. Thank you, everybody. Lovely. There are lots of things that you can find on the internet. I get lots of people texting me with grammar questions. Dude, this is something you can find on the internet. Don't ask me. Things that you can't find on the internet, things you can't find in textbooks, things that you hear somebody saying something in English and you don't know what it is. You know what the words are, but you don't know what it means and why they said it. These questions I would love to answer. But questions that you can already find the answer online or in a book, you know, these are things that I think you can find by yourself, either online, in books, or anywhere else. There are students who've come to me. Today, I had a student, a lovely, lovely lady, who wanted to know the meaning of I'm done. I'm done. And she said, Leila, what does this mean? Yes, that's a fantastic question, because I'm done. You don't always get the meaning of this online. You don't always get all the meanings. One meaning for I'm done is when you're in a relationship, and you just can't get along with somebody, you want to end the relationship. You say, oh, I'm done. That's it. I just don't want to see you anymore. I'm done. That's one meaning. Another meaning is when you finish the task that you've been doing, you finish your job. Right, I'm done. I'm going home. Nothing wrong with that. So these are the different meanings of I'm done. If somebody comes to me with that kind of question, fantastic. Yes, in Farsi, Ruya Chesham. Yes, definitely. I'd love to answer that question. Stuff that you can get on Google, you can get in a textbook. Please, please go check somewhere else. That would be really good. What was that? Let's see. Thank you. Thank you. I just missed one, sorry. Hello. I just missed a comment there, sorry. Okay. Dear Leila, what did you say at the beginning to describe the time passed too fast? I said it whizzed by. Today whizzed by. I'm going to write it in the caption on YouTube. Today whizzed by. Okay. Let's see. Very good, very good. Your voice is clear, thank you. I'm done with my scheduling. Very good, good to know. So you can sit down and relax now. Thank you, Bita. Thank you, as always. آرومتر صحبت کن. آرومتر meaning slower. Is that what you mean? I'll try, sure. Okay, let's see. میشه درس‌هایی در مورد موقعیت‌های روزمره یه مهاجر به کشور انگلیسی زبان بذارید، مثلا در داروخونه، شرکت بیمه، بیمارستان، غیره. This is Arvin Asadi. Thank you, Arvin, for your question. Very, very good question. Yes, I have created courses for all of these. Speaking 1, speaking 2, speaking 3, phrasal verbs, writing. I've created all of these courses. They're on my website. And I've also provided free lessons. So you don't have to buy the course if you don't want to. If you please go on my website, you will see right at the top, I've got something called Nemuna Tadris, if I'm not mistaken. Click on that. It'll give you some of the free courses. There's lots of material there, lots of information there. Please start with that. And I've taught about all of these things in my courses. Thank you. ما مبتدی هستیم بفهمیم. Okay, sure. Just to let you know, if you are mubtadi, thank you very much for joining. Welcome. I believe the majority of the students here are either people who live in English-speaking countries or they're people who are intermediate and above. So I'm trying to match my speed with the majority of the students, but I'll try and speak slowly as well. Could you please save this live? Yes, I save all of it on YouTube. Do you have any private classes? Could you send me a message, please? Hello. Hi, Ali. Thank you for joining. Okay, lovely, lovely. What's this? You'll really love. Thank you very much, Marie. Lovely. Whiz by, W, please. Whiz by. Lovely. Yes, whiz by. Whiz by. There's no E at the end. Whiz by. Okay. Right. Which book do you recommend for upper intermediate? To be very honest with you, I know there's this trend, isn't there, on Instagram right now, where there is a there's a teacher that sits. I've seen it on loads of these Instagram pages, and of course it's rehearsed. They've already practiced it before, but anyway, there's a trend that somebody is sitting down, the teacher is sitting down, and there is somebody asking, what's the best book for this? What's the best series to watch? What's the best this? What's the best that? Every teacher has their own method, has their own thoughts and processes, which is fantastic. Books, I would suggest, in my opinion, I don't think there's any one single book that would tick all the boxes. I haven't found one single book that I can refer you to that will basically give you everything you need. I haven't found that book. If you found it, please let me know. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, if you want to learn conversation English, I would say the closest thing we have is either the series called Speak Out. Speak Out, Speak Out. It's a series. I think it's from the BBC, and they have all the way from beginner up to advanced. That's one series that you can find. Another one is English File or New English File. That also comes close to real natural conversation. None of these books are 100% natural. None of these books will teach you real conversation that you have outside in the real world. A lot of them will still teach you textbook English, which is not normal, it's not natural English, but it's a very good place to start. Very good place to start, just to familiarize yourselves with the vocabulary, familiarize yourselves with some reading, with some studying techniques, and then whether you live in the UK, you live in an English-speaking country or not, turn to real, authentic videos or programs, please. I think everybody should be able to access YouTube, regardless of where you live. You should be able to access YouTube and find some kind of real program. Right now, I'm not going to show you, but right now in the background, I've got the TV on. It's on the BBC, and it's a program called DIY SOS. Okay, it's a real program where people go out. It's paused my video again. Hopefully we're going to be okay. Where real DIY technicians go out into the community. They talk to real people. They have real conversations, and somebody is standing there with a camera recording. It's not rehearsed. It's not from a textbook. It's not to prepare you for an exam. It's real conversation. That's what you need to be going for. For example, there is one of the things I want to say today is I went up the town today. This is how we say it. We don't say I went to the city centre today. No, we say I went up the town today. I went up the town today. Have you been up the town today? When was the last time you went up the town? The town. Sorry, it keeps showing me that it keeps coming and going. I really do apologize. I'm not sure what's going on. But up the town, go up the town. That's how we say it in normal conversation. We don't say I went to the center. The center of what? I've heard so many Iranian people say to me, yeah, Leila, yesterday I went to the center. The center of what? You went to the Merkez of what? You went to the center of what? So start with textbooks, that's fine, but then gradually wean yourself, I'm going to write it in the caption, wean yourself off textbooks and try and listen to real conversations. That's the winning ticket, in my opinion. Okay. Right. Thank you. Thank you. Would you mind speaking in Farsi? To be honest, English Parvies, I tried speaking in Farsi a few times and I got told off by a lot of these people here who said, no, don't speak in Farsi. So, sorry, I don't think I should speak Farsi. Very clearly, lovely. Okay. Right, شقایق. Hi شقایق, thanks for joining. وقتی کسی اسم ما را صدا میکنه میخوایم در جوابش بگیم جانم. چی بگیم؟ چی بگیم لیلا جون؟ We just say yes. That's it. We don't say جانم. What do we say? Someone calls me, I just say yes. Yeah, yes. Did you call me? Did you call me? Did you call me? Yes. That's what we say really. Turkish I don't understand, sorry. Okay. Right. Thank you. Thank you. Please WhatsApp. Please text me if you have a question. Marmari, please. Thank you. Thank you. Lovely. Whiz by. I'm going to write it in the caption for you. Let's see. Walida. I'm sorry. Walid Ali. Is that right? Your English, is it from the USA or the UK? Oh, no, I'm joking. I'm British. I'm British English, not American. Okay, let's see. Your seed is nice. Your speed is nice. Do not make it slower. We have to learn the real situation. Sama, thank you. Thank you. That's another thing. Thank you very much. That's another thing, actually. If people speak slowly, which I do in a lot of my posts, you've seen on my reels, you've seen I say something really slowly, I repeat it over and over. This is because I want to give people time to either make notes if they want to, or to listen. And I'm teaching lots and lots of different levels. But I think for the live sessions, it's higher level students who turn up for the Sunday sessions. That's why I'm trying to go with what the majority would like. Could you please explain about the word gear? I've heard it in different situations and don't know what it exactly means. Gear. Gear, it could mean the gear that you have in the car. Yeah, gear 1, first, second, third gear, reverse gear. Another gear is when you use it as a phrasal verb and an idiom where you gear up to do something, gear up to do something. That means prepare to do something. Okay, I'm all geared up. I am all geared up. That means I'm ready. We're going to go on holiday. I'm all geared up. I'm going to write this down. All geared up. I'm all geared up. So if you want to start something major, you want to start something rather big, instead of saying I'm prepared, you say I'm all geared up. You want to ask somebody, are you all geared up? Are you all geared up? Are you ready? Are you geared up? To gear yourself up, to gear yourself up, it means to prepare yourself. So these are different ways that people use gear. Last one, there's another gear that means kit. Have you got all the picnic gear? Have you got all the badminton gear? Yeah, so badminton gear, it means all the clothes, the racket, the shuttlecock, which is what we use to play the shuttlecock, the net maybe. All of these is called gear, all the stuff that you use to do that activity. So that's another meaning for gear. I hope that makes sense. But this person, Arazu 1979, you asked me this question, which was a very good question. My suggestion would be, if I may, my suggestion would be when I put this on YouTube, go back to this lesson, this part where I'm talking and drilling through all these different words for gear, pause the video, rewind to see what am I saying and write it down for everybody. I've got 270 something people here. If all of you do the same thing, go back to the YouTube video after I've posted it, listen to what I'm saying if you would, any part that you like, pause the video. That's what the video is for. Pause it and write it down for yourselves. Write it down to see, what is Leila talking about? What is she saying? When you see what I'm saying and you write it and you can see it and you understand it, that's when you can start using it as well. Yeah? Just listening to me once, it's not going to do anything for you. Okay. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Very good. Thank you. You like my personality. Many people don't like my personality because I'm very direct. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll write it for you. Yes, don't worry. Can you explain the difference between past simple and present perfect? I've explained that in my course. I've explained that in Grammar 1, please, on my website. Grammar 1. Okay. Okay, lovely, lovely, lovely. Right. Difference between the two tenses. Okay, lots of comments. Sorry, I'm just whizzing by all these comments. I do apologize. Right, so yes, I've explained this in Grammar 1. Past simple is something that's done, it's finished. Present perfect, something started in the past, but we still see the effect of it right now. We still see the effect of it now. Present perfect, present perfect. Okay, I'm going to go to the lesson because we've already talked about other things, if that's okay. The title of this lesson was, how's your week been? How's your week been? How's your week been? How's meaning how has. How's your week been? How's your week been? When do we use this? You see somebody, a friend, a colleague, a neighbor, anybody. You see this person, you say, how's your week been? Hey, hi, how's your week been? I'm just going to turn the comments off if that's okay. How's your week been? How's your week been? Yeah, how's your week been? In answer to that, that's when you can tell that person what you've been doing this past week. I'm going to tell you what I've been doing. I'm going to start my sentence with actually. And the reason why I start my sentence with actually is because what I'm going to say is new information for my listener. Okay, it's something that you wouldn't expect. It's new information for you, for my listener. Actually, I caught up with a friend I hadn't seen for a while. That's what I did. Leila, how's your week been? Actually, I caught up with a friend. Caught up is past tense of catch up. Yes, I caught up with a friend. Instead of saying I met up with a friend, instead of saying I went to a cafe with a friend, I'm going to use the phrasal verb past tense of catch up, which is caught up. Actually, I caught up with a friend I hadn't seen for a while. So I've got a friend, I hadn't seen her in a long while, in a long time. I caught up with a friend I hadn't seen in a long while. Okay, in a long while, in a long time. I spoke to my friend and it broke my heart. It broke my heart. It broke my heart to learn that she has cancer. Really, not just for the live session. Unfortunately, she has cancer. It broke my heart to learn. So learn here, it means when you get new information, when you hear something new from somebody, when you get new information, that's called learn. So we don't just learn at school and college, we can learn with friends. If one of your friends gives you new information, something you didn't know before, or new news, a piece of news, again, we can use learn. Yes. It broke my heart to learn that she has cancer. I'm really upset about that. And having cancer has broken her confidence. A lot of people think that break is only used for things like cups and bowls and glass and that kind of thing. No, you can also break your confidence as well. So it has broken her confidence. Cancer has broken her confidence, which is really sad. She's going to take every day as it comes. She is going to take every day as it comes. She's got cancer and it has broken her confidence. So she doesn't have a lot of confidence, unfortunately. She can't make any long-term plans for herself. So she's going to deal with every day as it comes. She's just focusing on today right now. And then tomorrow, she will just focus on tomorrow. Tuesday, she will just focus on Tuesday. Take every day as it comes. Take every day as it comes. It's an idiom that we use. And we usually use it in difficult situations. If you're in a situation where, like my friend, you've had really bad news, or you're going through a difficult patch in your life, this is an idiom that you would use because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. You say, I'm going to take every day as it comes. I can only deal with one day. I'll just deal with today. Tomorrow, I will worry about tomorrow. I'm not going to worry about tomorrow today. I'm going to leave tomorrow for tomorrow. Take every day as it comes. So she's going to take every day as it comes. I really hope that she changes her mind. She told me she's not going to go for any kind of treatment. She's not going to go for chemo or anything like that. I really hope she changes her mind because she's lovely. She's absolutely lovely. Okay. So I'm going to turn the comments back on. Hello again. Turn the comments back on, and I've still got a little bit more of a lesson that I want to teach you, but for now I want to make sure that you're okay with what I said in this last few minutes. Is everybody okay with that for now? Yeah, so did that make sense? Is that okay? I say, did that make sense? Or does that make sense? Does that make sense? This is something I use a lot when I'm teaching a lesson. I will never say, do you understand? Because that's really rude. Do you understand, Yenichi? That's really rude. I don't say, do you understand? I say, does that make sense? It means, do you understand? But do you understand can be very rude. If we ask somebody, do you understand? That means we're saying, do you have enough IQ? Do you have enough intelligence? Do you understand? That's really rude. So we don't say that. In college or school, if they say that, it's because the level of English of a student is low. So the teacher says, do you understand? But in normal everyday conversation with other people in society, we never say, do you understand? We use do you understand if we're arguing or fighting with someone. Do you understand? Okay. Right. Let's see. We've got a few comments here. Let's see. I just missed a few. Sorry to hear that, Leila. Yeah. In this situation in English culture, what do you say to the person? Yeah, it's really difficult, isn't it? We just say, oh, I'm really sorry to hear it, but there are treatments available. There are treatments available. We're always going to try and focus on the positive. Really sorry to hear it, but you're a strong person. There are treatments available. Let me know if there's anything I can do. Yeah, we're not going to start being the doctor. We're not going to start saying, oh, do this, do that, drink this, eat that. We're not going to do that. We're going to say, let me know if there's anything I can do. Let me know if there's anything I can do. Okay. Does that make sense, Parone? Yes, yes. So I will never ask you, do you understand? Because that's really rude. Do you understand? I always say, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Lovely. Does that make sense? Yes. So if you're having a conversation with an English speaker, sorry, that's my alarm. If you're having a conversation with an English speaker, any English speaker, it doesn't matter, American, Canadian, from New Zealand, South Africa, anywhere, if they speak English, if you've said something and you want to check if they understand, you don't say, do you understand? That's really, really rude. We say, does that make sense? It has the same meaning, but it's much more polite. Okay. Thank you. Nushin, do you have English online classes if you can? Yes, I do have online classes. There is one course that we just started. It's called Speaking To. It's on my website. We had the first session today. We're going to have the next session next Sunday. It's called Speaking To, and it will teach you about if you have issues with media bundles, like with the internet or telephone or these kind of things, you've got problems, you want a contract or anything, it'll teach you that. Other lessons that I have in there are about the council. If you've got issues with your house, your neighbor, anything to do with your living situation, you can talk to the council. There's another lesson there that teaches you everything, lots of things, not everything, lots of things you need to know if you want to rent accommodation, and also a little bit about the rules and regulations of renting accommodation as well. Talking to the teacher of your child at school, lots and lots of subjects it teaches you. Also, I think there's a bit about a doctor as well, maybe a GP, because I've got a lot about the GP in Speaking 1. I'm sure I've got something in Speaking 2 as well. That's one thing we're doing. I'm also doing another course which is new, which is on culture, British culture, and that's every Monday. All of these are on the website. Okay, so you study the course yourself during the week. Every week we have one online session where I will be there, you will be there, it'll be on Zoom, I record it, and I answer the questions that you have about the lesson. Okay. Right. Yeah, thank you. I hope she gets well as well. Yeah, she's lovely, she's really nice. Evolve, I don't know that, Muhammad. What about evolve? I don't know evolve. I don't think I've heard of that. If it's a book that you've heard good things about it, yeah, sure, go for it. Absolutely. Anything that works for you. Okay. Yes. So, yeah. Do you understand? We don't say that. Did you get that? Oh, did you get that? Did you get that? We only use did you get that if you've sent a message, you've sent a text message, you've sent an email. Did you get that? That means did you receive the text message? Did you receive the email? If you say something to somebody and then you say, did you get that? That is worse than do you understand? Okay, so it can be really rude. Did you get that? Did it go in your brain? That's what it means. So we don't use that very much. If you mean, did you receive that? Then that's fine. That's fine. Thank you, Bita. Yeah. Okay. Good. Does that make sense? Yes. Losing confidence. Yeah, break confidence, lose confidence. Yes. What's this? Do you get what I mean rather than do you understand? Yes, that's good as well. Yeah, that's good as well. Okay. Right. Does that meaning true? Does that meaning true? I don't know what that is. Sorry, I don't know what that is. Does that meaning true? My level is B2. How can I level up myself to C2? How can you level yourself up to C2? Okay, lovely comments here. Sorry. Right, so this is a question I'm getting a lot. It's a question that other people are getting as well. How can we improve our English? This is something I want to say, and that is that learning a language, my dear friends, learning a language is not studying the language. It's not about get my book out, get my pen or pencil out, lock myself in a room for 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 hours every day and just write and read and listen. That's not called learning a language. That's called learning vocabulary. That's called learning the grammar. So all the information is going into your mind, into your brain. But firstly, it's incomplete because you're just learning textbook English, which is incomplete. Secondly, you're not giving yourself the opportunity to use the language that you've just learnt. So if you have to go to the doctor, or if you, not just you, anybody, if you have to go to the doctor, if you have to speak to your child's teacher, if you have to go to the supermarket, return something, go shopping, whatever, you freeze because you've never given yourself that opportunity to use the language that you've spent so long learning. Language going in, information going in is one process. Information coming out is a completely different process. A lot of people just do the first part. That's not called learning a language. That's called memorizing vocabulary. And it's great if you want to do a memory test. It's not going to help you when you want to speak in society, okay? It's a little bit like riding a bike. You can watch people ride a bike from morning till evening. You can watch videos, you can write about it, you can read about it. It will never be the same as you getting yourself on that bike and starting to pedal. That's a completely different experience, isn't it? You need to give your brain that opportunity to be able to use what you've learnt. That's how you get from A1 all the way up to proficient. Okay, very, very beginner all the way up to proficient. That's the way you do it. So students who say, I study 5 hours a week, study what? What exactly do you do? Are you memorizing words? Fantastic. How are you going to use them? When do you use them? Where do you use them? Have you tested yourself to see, can you use them? Are you just learning words, or are you using complete sentences and phrases and in a conversation? Yeah, that's something we need to work on if we're learning a language. And it's not just learning the language, it's learning the culture of that language as well. I've mentioned this before, I think, in previous live sessions. If I have an Iranian guest who comes to my house and I use English culture for my Iranian guest, chances are I'm really going to upset my guest, even though I didn't want to. If I say to my guest, Bishin lutfan, you don't say that, do you? Because in the Persian culture, they don't say Bishin lutfan, they say befarmayid. So there's a whole new word that you would use for it. In the English culture, if I have guests over, I'll put everything on the table and very politely I'll say, help yourselves. Lunch is on the table, everybody. Help yourselves. Grab a plate. You know, there's plenty of food. That's very polite, but that's the British culture. That's how we do it in the UK. So it's not just learning the language. It's not just learning the vocabulary. It's learning the culture as well of how you do it. All of this together it goes hand in hand. Language learning is the mind process. Yeah, basically. It's looking at it from a completely different point of view. It's just looking at what do they do in that culture. You can't just take a part of the language. The language comes as a whole. Language includes the words, it includes the discourse, what is polite, what is impolite. For example, we don't say, do you understand? We say, does that make sense? That's discourse. What is appropriate, what is not appropriate? That's part of learning a language as well, that sometimes you get in textbooks. Part of a language is the accent, obviously, and the pronunciation. A big part of the language is the culture. Huge part of the language is you being able to communicate. It all comes together. So just focusing on words or vocabulary or grammar, that's not going to give you a language. That's just going to give you little bits of something. It will never be the full package. One of the best ways to learn the language is to immerse yourself in that situation. Put yourself in that situation. Some of you might say, from where can we learn the culture? It's on my website, please. The course is on my website. If you go to my website, the link to the website is in my bio. A lot of you might say, because I know a lot of my followers are from Iran, Thank you so much for following me. A lot of my followers are from Iran, and if I have understood correctly by the insights, the statistics of my page on Instagram, a lot of you are from Tehran. I have a lot of you from Mashhad, a lot of you from Shiraz. I have you from all different cities in Iran, and I love it. Thank you. As well as the UK and other countries as well. Thank you all for trusting me. A lot of you might say, Leila, you keep saying speak English, speak English. We don't have an English speaking partner. That's fine. I understand that. I know it's not easy, but you can still watch videos, watch a conversation, a real conversation a few times, and then you can pretend like you're having that conversation with somebody else. So if you want to send your child to school when you go to an English-speaking country, pretend like you've got the teacher right in front of you. What would you say to that teacher? How would you relay what your intention? How would you tell the teacher what you want to say? That is called learning the language, learning about the culture, doing the research, going online and doing the research, learning like that. لطف کنین حواس بقیه. Oh, okay. So we have troublemakers, is that right? Do we have troublemakers on here? Yeah. Troublemakers. Okay. Right. Okay. Learning culture is more difficult than language. Does it make sense? Learning culture is more difficult than language. I learnt them both hand in hand. When I was learning the Farsi language, obviously my father's Persian, but the majority of my life I lived here in the UK. So when I had to learn the Farsi, I learnt it along with the culture. I had to learn it along with the culture. You can't separate the two, to be honest. You can't. If you just want to learn a language for an exam, yes, you don't need to worry about the culture. But if you want to learn a language for everyday life, you have to know the culture as well. It's just part of it. It's just part of it. Let me see if I can express what I mean. Okay. I'm going to give you a few sentences in Farsi, but with the British culture to try and show you what I mean. Right, so this is very polite. If I say this in English, it's very polite, but if I say it in Farsi, you'll see. دم در وای نستا برای چی نمیای تو؟ دم در وای نستا برای چی نمیای تو؟ Okay, that's one of them. That's instead of بفرمایید. Another one would be بشین لطفاً. اونجا بشین لطفاً. Okay, that's another one that in Farsi might be rude. Another one is خب من دیگه تعارف نمی کنم. اگه یه چیزی میخوای بگو. Okay? من دیگه تعارف نمی کنم. اگه یه چیزی میخوای بگو. This is how this is the way we speak in the British culture. It's very polite in the English culture, but do you see it can be perceived as a little bit, yeah, I've got people laughing. It can be a bit rude if you use this in the Farsi culture. Here, I've just taken words. I've completely ignored the Farsi culture. I'm just using words. That's why, depends on the intonation as well. That's why it doesn't always work. That's why sometimes you get very strange looks from people. Why did he or she say that? Yeah. Yeah, very good, very good. So that's what I was trying to say. It's 7:45. I've taken a lot of your time. Thank you very much for being with me. Did I want to mention anything else? Yes, the only other thing I wanted to talk about was I went up the town. That's another thing that we say. I went up the town today. I went up the town today looking for shoes for the kids. They're going back to school. And I managed to find a pair just around the corner. So I ended up at my own local M&S after all that. So I'm happy. I do have online courses. Yes, you can when you want to stress. Yes. توی چه پلتفرمی و چطور کلاس برگزار شد؟ So the courses are on my website, and then the online sessions that we have are on Zoom application. And a lot of my students are from Iran, but they have to use VPN, I think. Okay, lovely, lovely, lovely. Right. A lot of you have asked for private lessons. Right now, I do have a few spots available for private lessons, just a few, not many. So if you want to text me, I can see if I can fit you in. Okay, thank you very much. Lovely to have you. Very well done to all the students for speaking too. Lovely to meet some of you as well. Some of you came to the online lesson. Very good. Lovely to see the students from the phrasal verbs as well. And I will email you the lesson that we had today. Tomorrow, for the culture students, tomorrow is going to be your first online lesson. I'm really looking forward to meeting you and seeing what you think about the first lesson that we talked about culture. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope to see you again next Sunday. Look after yourselves. Take care. Enjoy the sun while we have it. It's not going to last for long. Enjoy the sun. Thank you and good night.